Hello, my name is Ethan Pearson, and this particular game that I'm doing the game article about is called Warframe. And so Warframe is a free-to-play game. It is on PC, Xbox, PlayStation. Um, it has separate uh, remote play. So you can play it on just about any console where games are playable.
It's that time again.
And this game is, like I said, completely free. And it is part of a mostly AI combat game where you're fighting a bunch of different character enemies that are not player controlled, though there is that option. Is very much a team-based game where you play with all sorts of people from around the world, where people can chat down here to recruit for clans or for different raids, just kind of missions. There's a trading location. Here's a Q&A where you can ask a bot effectively where to find certain things, something like that, and the clan tab. So, what I'm kind of talking about specifically for this game is the free to play aspect of it. How exactly free to play it is. I have played this game for a long time. I've put a lot of hours into this game. And one of the major aspects of it is getting new warframes. Warframes are like the character that I am right now. There are multiple ones that you can be, such as this one, who has really sharp knives, basically like a female
Operator,
Wolverine.
are you enjoying the view?
Another one, for example, is this one, which does infestation things, like infecting enemies and making that spread to other enemies. This one in particular does a lot with mines and grenades, trapping enemies. Now, to get these, you can either unlock parts for them, or you can perhaps buy these warframes. For example, over here in my creation location, the foundry, there are multiple warframes that can be built, and you have to find things like neuroptics right here, or a chassis and systems, so that you can properly create this character. Now, also note, it takes 72 hours to do that. So this game tries to balance a free-to-play, time-related aspect. So you have to wait to be able to make, and this is just making the overall warframe. To make the individual components, it can take 12 hours. Doing 12, 12, 12 for the chassis, neuroptics, and systems, that's a lot of time right there, and then you have to make the actual warframe. So one way to bypass that is to purchase these warframes. Granted, they're not the prime version that one was, but I will show you that in a moment. You can purchase warframes within this area. So see how they call this one in particular, Saren, costs 112. I currently have a discount because I hadn't played this game in a very long time. So normally it would be 225. But if I wanted to, I could purchase this right here, right now, and not have to worry about grinding for the components throughout all of the missions of the game, which is another thing that the game has. This is going to be the solar system. All the different locations you can go to. Now, if I remember correctly, because it has been, like I said, a very long time, you start on Mercury, and you make your way through all of these missions, um, going to different planets, and going through them and getting further and further, unlocking quests, story missions. Part of that is leveling up and gaining components in order to build new things. For example, the resources that this location houses are Morphix, Ferrite, Polymer Bundles, Detonite Ampule. So this planet in particular, you can farm these items, and farming is specifically searching for these resources. And with those resources, you come right back over here to the foundry, where you're going to create your new things like warframes, like different types of weapons, rifles, pistols, swords, and this is the primary aspect of playing this game. You level up your warframes, you continue through missions, you get new guns, you level those up, and it's a cyclical, that's how the game cycle works. And the reason this works is because it is a free-to-play game. With it being a free-to-play game, they make certain things a little bit more difficult to acquire. So that's going to, like I said, the time constraint over here. If I wanted to create Ember Prime right here, I would have to farm all of these materials and then finally build this. Alternatively, I could spend real money and purchase the Warframe from over here. Granted, I have, where is she? I have this normal Ember, and then I have another Ember for some odd reason, but I can't purchase the primes. So that's where, Platinum, which is what this, special currency, that's where it kind of comes into play. Here is the marketplace, and within this marketplace, I can purchase all sorts of weapons, special warframes, special packs, like this one right here. These two primes, they would be discounted, but you see here, you're also spending a decent amount of money for it, especially this very bottom one, $79.99. So the game is able to survive as a free-to-play as long as there are people who are willing to purchase a $75.99 pack, or even just $19.99 pack. There's also the Platinum Bundles, which will take us to the PlayStation Store, whatever, you get the point. There's going to be ones as cheap as $4.99. So those little bits and pieces add up over time. And as someone who has played this game for a long time, I have, of course, sunk some money into this game. Going from Mercury through Venus, Earth, Mars, once Mars, I think Ceres, Jupiter, Saturn, Uranus, Neptune, Pluto, Eris, and Pluto to Kuva, Phobos, Sedna. I've gone to most of these locations. I haven't gone to this one yet, as this is new. It's not something that I have played as of yet. This is completely new. For me, at least. It's probably been in the game for a little while. But the thing that is most important about this is that it is a freemium game. So while it doesn't inherently require you to spend money, it is highly suggested. For example, one thing that the game requires is, let me go back here, back to this. I'm sure you'll get tired of this after time. um, I can only have a certain amount of guns in my inventory. If I want to buy or make another one, I have to make room for it. So here in my equipment location, arsenal. Okay, wrong button. Well, this is also another aspect where you can do a character creation. And that is the operator for this thing. But going back to what I was trying to do before I pressed the wrong buttons, actually, I'll just show it instead of with weapons, with loadouts. So you can have a specific amount of loadouts going at once. And I currently have 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7, 8, 9. I have 9. If I want to buy another loadout, I have to spend 20 premium currency on that. Which, if you remember, 75 premium currency was $4.99. That's not that bad. But if you have another, you have to do that for warframes, you have to do that for these, for the primary weapon, the secondary weapon, the melee weapon. You have to do that with all of those. So if you want to make a certain amount of room, you're going to have to end up spending money if you want more than 2 or 3 weapons at a time.
Operator, you have remembered well how the Tenno arm themselves.
That is how the game can manage to survive as a freemium. And I, for one, I'm not terribly bothered by that because it's a free game. It has been supported for multiple years, and it has a very fun gameplay loop. So I'm gonna just jump into one of these real quick. Preferably, oh, press wrong button. Preferably on a different loadout so that I'm not struggling with my low-level character. How about probably something, or even just like this. This is the roaming location. So you've got your missions, and then at this location you can free roam. And with free roaming, of course, you can run around, do certain special missions, just run all over the place and have general fun. The game is very mobile, as you can kind of see here. Very quick, very fast. And that is one of the things that brings people back to this game after years and years of updates and support, is that the game as it is has a good gameplay loop. Here. Loads. There we go. The open world is now ours to do, and